I did just find this old version and see if it sounds any different. This has a different vocal sample on it.
Right.
I mean, I have like a very messy catalogue in my brain of all my records and all the things that one day I want to sample. And so like when I'm making music, it's all just sort of a jumble of things that kind of make their way to the surface when it's right.
We're giving away a signed vinyl of Jamie XX's In Waves. All you have to do for a chance to win is like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tell us your favourite track on the album in the comments. The winner will be announced in the comments at the end of the month.
I was just listening to my records at home for pleasure, and going through 7 inches that I have, some of which I hadn't actually listened to because I just buy stuff all the time, and like I'm out record shopping, sometimes things slip past me, and it's this J.J. Barnes record, and it's not normally the sort of thing that I would sample because it's not a dance tempo. It's just a quite sweet soul song, but the lyrics and the vocal melody just got me, and I went down into the studio after playing it upstairs on my record player and sampled it straight in, so it's got all the crackle on it from the record, and it became the basis for this song.
Love, sweetness that fills the air came from a daffodil in your hair. I placed it there. Love, sweetness that fills.
So I just took the bass out, really, and I wanted to sample in a very basic, like sort of old school, like 90s hip hop, New York hip hop style way where like things just cut in and cut out. Very obvious sampling, not like trying to weave it in like I would normally do, but with just harsh sort of brash, like this is a sample and then out.
Yeah. And
I was also like weaving the sampling in different ways to help the story. So after Kelsey Lou said something, I think this
I can feel you. I can feel you.
That happens because he's kind of responding to that.
Yeah.
And then there's another bit where I just chopped up the words to make sense of the story.
Us too.
I'm trying to get him to say I was too, trying to make it like a boy-girl thing, but using the sample as my voice, I guess. I came across the Astrid Gilberto version of the same song, which I think was the original, and then J.J. Barnes was the cover. And I thought I'd never done the thing where I'd sampled 2 different versions of the same song.
Yeah.
And it would be a fun switch up. And also because the song is like a conversation or a story told by a boy and a girl, to switch up the dynamic with the sample going from male to female as well. So it suddenly switches.
And the lovely sweetness that filled the air came from a daffodil in my hair. You placed it there,
and I just chopped it again, took out the bass so there was room for all the other bits. Then there's just so much other stuff in this project that I like piled in there that I don't know what it is. It's all muted. I just unmute something and see what it is. Oh yeah, this is more of the. So there's a part at the end of the song which is a sample of A$AP Rocky talking about his LSD trip, just from a documentary. And there was another version of this where I'd used that sample all the way throughout as another voice, like interacting with Kelsey Lou.
And I woke up the next day and I said, yo, I know what the answer to life is.
So that's what's happening at the end of the track now on the final version. But in this version, it seems to be somewhere in the middle. I used to be really like avid about not messing with the sound quality of a sample, especially if I'd recorded it in off vinyl and I'd spent a long time making that sound good. I didn't want to then time stretch it, or do anything to degrade the sound like that. So that would inform how I would sample things, and often the things that I would make would be at the same tempo as the original thing, or I'd record it in faster from the turntable. But now I just started messing with things a lot more, and I use this time stretch thing on Logic, which is so simple. I mean, I think actually with this track I didn't really use it, but if you turn it on, it will sort of detect tempo, and then you can stretch things out just by pulling these guys, like super simple, and you can set it to different settings, and it kind of messes it up in different ways. But with Dafodil, actually, it's literally just I recorded the record in and did stuff over the top and tried to keep the essence of what the record was.
This episode is being supported by our good friends at Tape It, the iPhone app made specifically for musicians. If you, like many of our guests, use voice memos, then as far as we're concerned, switching to Tape It is an obvious choice. It's free, and there are a load of features you won't find on Apple's Voice Memos app, including the ability to record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, include photos of settings, and you can easily import your old voice notes, sync to the cloud, and create shared playlists with co-writers and bandmates. So head to the link below to install the app now. And if you want even more, check out Tape It Pro and use the promo code TAPENOTES to receive a whopping 20% off. And now, back to the episode.
I'd originally made this as an instrumental, just based around the sample, because the sample's so strong.
So the sample is the brass hook?
Yeah, the brass hook. I was driving to Soho, listening to tunes in my car, and came across the sample, which I hadn't heard before.
So who is the original by?
Sony.
So that's CERRONE.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
He's obviously made some classics over the years. It's a cover of House of the Rising Sun.
Wow.
But the lyrics and the vocals on it are horrible. No, this is the... So that's the main phrase that I used.
Yeah.
So then when I came into the studio that day after hearing it for the first time, I just started looping little bits of it. But the thing that I wanted to do, I knew from the start, was that hook. And then I just started filtering it. Put a phaser on it, like they do in all those old classic French house tunes. And just tried to keep it as simple as possible. And like chopped up the best part of each horn to simplify it.
Yeah.
Second part that I added was chopping up the sample in a different way to make what was originally going to be a verse, which turned into the bridge or the middle eight. So I chopped up the sample like this. Which is the same bit of the sample from the other section, it's just chopped in a different way. I did just find this old version and see if it sounds any different. I don't know how old this version is. This has a different vocal sample on it.
Right. So whose voice is that? It's just a sample of a...
It's Temptations, I think.
Right. I mean, Aaron Blackett got in touch to say, where do you find the inspiration for a track? But he's praising your sampling, and are there different ways that you might approach this? But it seems, in a way, it's kind of random as much as it is thought through.
Yeah. I mean, I have like a very messy catalogue in my brain of all my records, which is a lot of records, and and all the things that one day I want to sample, they're all up in there. And so like when I'm making music and something feels like it could fit, it usually just comes up in my mind and I'll go and get it out of the record shelf.
Right.
Or I'll just rip it off YouTube. Sometimes that really works because of the way it's like sort of compressed on YouTube, makes things fit nicely into a mix if you don't want it to be like super shiny. But yeah, it's all just sort of a jumble of things that kind of make their way to the surface when it's right.
Yeah, yeah.